Well, if your memory is not good enough, you might as well forget that last season, Man United went ahead to beat Aston Villa home and away at Old Trafford 3-2 in a game that Rasmus Hojlund scored his first Premier League goal for the club of Manchester United, and even away, it ended 1 in favour of Manchester United after beating Aston Villa by 2-1. Rasmus Hojlund and Scott McTominay were on target. So welcome to the United Matters channel. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David, and this is the United Matters channel. Continue to subscribe to see it that everything really moves on as planned. Now, we're here to bring you the match preview, and I think it's going to be like 15 minutes, and you people will obviously come up and obviously tell me what your thoughts are for this game of football in a match that I regard one of the most important games for Erik ten Hag, because if he wins it, obviously he's gonna be safe for me. You get? If he loses it, then his position is really gonna be in total mess as a manager for the club of Manchester United. And with the meeting being scheduled to be carried out on Tuesday, then we wait to see how things are really going to be panning out. But it's not something easy for Erik ten Hag. Let's close at 100 likes match in this video as United comes into this game of football, drawing to FC Porto 3-3 in the midweek, and really losing Tottenham Hotspur by 3-0. Aston Villa comes into this encounter with lots of energy after beating Bayern Munich at home in the Champions League, and you know the boost that you get when you really beat a team like Bayern Munich in the Champions League. 1-0 scored by Duran, who played off the bench. Now, over the weekend, they drew with Ipswich 2-2. That is Aston Villa for you, and they are going to be hosting another game of football at their stadium known as the Villa Park that capacitates 42,640,000 people there. Why have I come out and said that this is a game that might be the biggest turnaround for Erik ten Hag in his job safety and really his season? This is the reason why. When you look at the games that Ten Hag is going to be playing after the international break, I think he's hosting Brentford at Old Trafford, he's playing away at Fenerbahce, and he's playing away at West Ham, then Leicester City, and then he will be playing Chelsea on the 3rd of November, meaning that those 5 fixtures, I think, can obviously paint a better picture for him if at all he survives on Sunday. But if he loses, I tell you what, I think he would have gone ahead to surrender himself to the Vultures, because no decision is really going to be taken after that game of football. And Sir Jim Ratcliffe himself is going to be into the stands to really witness whether Man United goes ahead, obviously win the game of football in that caliber. Now, Manchester United has the following players out of action: Luke Shaw, Tyrell Malacia, Lenny Yoro, Mason Mount. You get? And he picked up a knock, and it was a concussion injury, and was taken off against Tottenham Hotspur. You understand? Now, Manchester United is having all those players out. Bruno Fernandes' red card was scrapped off, and he's now going to be available. A player that is really having an irritating form for the club of Manchester United. Then the other player that might obviously return is Kobbie Mainoo. He traveled with the squad of Manchester United to Porto, and when he traveled to Porto, he never even made it to the starting 11. But the squad that trained in Porto yesterday, Kobbie Mainoo was really among. Now, we are having some team news coming in from Aston Villa. They're telling us that Villa's memorable beating of Bayern Munich came at quite a cost, as the luckless Jacob Ramsey was forced off the field of play apparent with a groin injury. Amadou Onana was withdrawn on the hour mark due to a tight hamstring. Then Leon Bailey, the previous Sunday when they played, obviously was replaced by Ramsey, because we had obviously find himself injured. And Emery is also optimistic about Onana's fitness, and those are players that can come back. You know, Jack Ramsey, Amadou Onana, Leon Bailey, those three can really come up. But Mings, Kamara, and John McGinn are really out. You get? So, Aston Villa is really having some injuries, but I tell you, they're really having a very good squad that can come and obviously compete very, very well. After that, we get into what we call the probable starting 11 for the club of Manchester United. Then later, we'll see how Aston Villa will be lining up and really planning to take on the club of Manchester United. The system for Erik ten Hag doesn't change, 4-2-3-1, and in that system, we all anticipate that Onana is going to be in between the stitches for the club of Manchester United. Then Mazraoui is going to be played as the right back into this game of football, as he really looks forward to play against Villa. You know, left back, it's going to be Diego Dallo, as Tyrell Malacia is not yet ready to obviously get himself into action. And the central defense, with Harry Maguire coming off the bench to score that goal, there are suggestions that he should play ahead of Matthias de Ligt, something I don't really agree with, because Matthias de Ligt is trying to form a combination or a partnership with Lisandro Martinez. And though Ten Hag is stubborn, but for me, I would keep Matthias de Ligt into this position as the right-sided centre-back for the club of Manchester United. And on the left, it's obviously going to be Lisandro Martinez, you know, and that is the back five for the club of Manchester United. And if I'm Erik ten Hag, there is no way I change my back five. That is it. There is no way I change that back five, because I believe they're trying to know themselves better, and these are kind of games where you test your back five and see how far it has got ahead to reach, and obviously stopping opponents with quality that have been playing together for some time. You understand? Because Aston Villa should be the litmus test for your defense, if at all you know, because they are really great and they're really an attacking side that creates moments out of nowhere, and they play a style of football that Erik ten Hag can easily come out and beat, but it depends on how the players are really going to be, the players are going to put the instructions into action. Then CDM, I think, with Manuel Ugarte being what we call an unused substitute in that match, obviously anticipated that he's really going to come in through to get a nod into the starting 11 for the club of Manchester United. I cannot see him risk to play a midfield without Manuel Ugarte. Alongside who? I think it's going to be alongside Kobe Mainoo. And I think that was the main reason that he really never used any of those in that game, because he believed that he needed rotation and he needed fully fresh players to obviously play part into this encounter. When you look at the reason he gave for taking off Marcus Rashford, though for me he believe he was taken off for costing us those 2 goals in the first half, though he contributed something great for the club of Manchester United. You understand? I believe that Ugarte is really going to be the starting 11, because you need a player who is really, really, really very mobile and agile. You get? If he's not agile, you're going to see lots of problems caused by Aston Villa into that midfield. So I believe that it's really going to be the double pivot for the club of Manchester United. Then, ahead of the double pivot, I don't like him to start, but he's going to start him because he has decided that he cannot drop him. But if I'm Erik ten Hag, I drop Bruno Fernandes because he has going to lose his head, and not be surprised that he might get a red card again in that game. I don't wish it to him, but I think his head is not in the right sense of mind, in the right state of mind, and that is what is really causing all this. So I see Bruno Fernandes playing ahead of them with his struggling abilities, and that's Erik ten Hag for you. But for me, I would have wanted to play Eriksson there. On the right, I think it's going to be another change made. It's going to be Garnacho, not Amadi Diallo. He's going to really try out this, and he's going to really try to play Garnacho. Though all of the games that he has gone ahead to play Garnacho as a right attacking midfielder, no positive results have gone ahead to be invested in Garnacho being played as a right attacking midfielder, and he has always gone ahead to offer us the best when he's being played as a left attacking midfielder. That is Alejandro Garnacho for you. Obviously, if Garnacho is being played off the right, then you know why he's being played there, not on the left. It's all about Marcus Rashford scoring one and creating one, but not being good defensively. I think his defensive actions should improve. You know, our shape in possession is really good, but our shape out of possession is really very, 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 very alarming and very, very bad. So in a moment like this, all you have to do is to gate all these team and really be very much effective when you're really having no ball. You know, our shape out of position should obviously look elite. Who is going to lead the line, Joshua Zirkzee or Rasmus Hojlund? Scoring in his first start for the club of Manchester United, that is Rasmus Hojlund. I predict that he's really gonna lead that line like that. And that is my probable starting 11 for the club of Manchester United, and you'll anticipate some maybe changes, and you might see an Ugarte and the Casemiro, Ole Casemiro and Kobe Mainoo, but I think it's really going to be a very huge mistake not to play Manuel Ugarte, and I'll be fuming and out of this game in the marginal life if at all Erik ten Hag doesn't go for those two players. Now, the battles that we anticipate in this game of football, obviously Lisandro Martinez and Matthias De Ligt, whoever is going to be playing the central defense, facing Oli Watkins for some minutes, and then John Duran comes off the bench. John Duran has proven that he can come off the bench and obviously score these goals. So that is the battle that we need to see. Leon Bailey, one of the dangerous and deadly right attack midfielder, if at all he makes it to this game, he's really going to be facing a player called Dalo. You understand? So that is really another battle. But the other battle is going to be in the midfield, where Tielemans and others are really going to be facing the midfield of Manchester United. But United also have some other battles going forward, as Garnacho or Amad Diallo faces Digne. Rashford will be facing Matt Cash. You understand? And Rasmus Hojlund will be facing Diego Carlos and Pau Torres into that a game that is really going to be played there. So that is the probable starting 11 for the club of Manchester United. And for Aston Villa, obviously, they're expecting Martinez in goal, Konsa to be played as a right back, meaning that Rashford might face Konsa, Carlos, Torres and Digne, that is the back four, Rogers, Ross Barkley and Tielemans, midfield three, Philogen, who really went ahead to play against Bayern Munich as a right attack midfielder, alongside Watkins and John Duran. That's what we think their starting 11 is really gonna be. So we wait and see how that pans out, but that leads us to what we call the head-to-head stats provided to us by Gigu and the data assistants in here for you. Oh my god, I never looped this. So that is how everything is really gonna be panning out in here. So Aston Villa have won just one of their last 25 Premier League home games against Manchester United, have won one of their last 25 Premier League home games against Man United, 8 draws and 16 losses, with the victory coming in Unai Emery's first charge in the club in 2022, winning by 3-1. And then secondly, we know we had, I remember that game very well, had just played in the UEFA Europa League against Rio Sociedad, right? And we won that game by 1-0. But guess what happened? Man United came and had to play on Sunday against a fully fresh Villa side. Secondly, Manchester United have won 40 Premier League games against Aston Villa, with only the Reds Devils themselves beating an opponent more often in the competition history, 41 times versus Everton, meaning that Everton has been beaten by Manchester United the most. Then thirdly, Aston Villa have picked up 13 points in their opening 6 Premier League matches this season. 4 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss, their best start to a season since 2008, 2009 under Martin O'Neill. They also had 13. So they're really in total shape to obviously coming through and face Manchester United. Fourthly, Man United have lost 8 Premier League matches by a margin of 3 or more goals under Erik ten Hag since the start of the 2022-2023 season. The only current Premier League manager to suffer 3+ goals defeats are Gary O'Neill and Sean Dyche, 9 each. So we are waiting to see whether Ten Hag is really going to overturn this. But if he doesn't overturn it, he might have managed his last game as a manager of Manchester United. Lastly, since Unai Emery's first Premier League game in charge of Aston Villa, only Man City 85, Liverpool 84, and Arsenal 81 points have picked up more home points than Villa 74. Among Villa managers to take advantage of 5 or more. Sorry about that. Only European Cup winning manager Tony Barton has done it better than this guy. So he is a man who was going to do the due diligence and done his homework very well, and nothing is really going to stop him from obviously getting himself to where he really deserves to be. So that's what I had for you here onto the United Matters channel, and hope you guys are really having fun about this. Go into the comment section and tell me what your predictions are supposed to be. And the best result for Manchester United is a draw. You get? It's a draw, and that's what I think it's really going to be, like a 2-2 draw or a 1-1 draw. But United getting a win, that is the wildest thought about this beautiful game of football. But never say never in this game of football, but Erik ten Hag needs to get his players work better when we're without possession. If Ten Hag is to win this game of football, that should be the best thing that these players should work on. When we lose the ball, we should defend as a team and put all the bodies on the line. I'm out. See you later. Continue to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokan David is my name, and we are continuing to obviously prepare another video. The first video is already in. This is the second video, and I just can't wait to drop more and more videos before the match day. Bye bye for now, and continue to subscribe because we want to hit 20,000 subscribers onto this beautiful channel of ours. That is the United Matters channel. Way out.